My Weird School, Fast Facts. Sports. Written by Dan Gutman. Pictures by Jim Pelot. Chapter 3. Soccer. Look, Ma, no hands. According to legend, soccer was invented in London's Newgate prison in the early 1800s. Back in those days, people who were caught stealing things were punished by having their hands cut off. Ouch! So the prisoners started playing a game that didn't require hands. Another legend has it that soccer developed when Greek and Roman villages would kick a human skull, yes, you read that right, to a nearby village square. That village would then try to kick the skull back to the first village. Nowadays, of course, we're much more civilized. People drive from village to village, running over pedestrians along the way. Everybody plays soccer. The Mayans played a game called Pocatalk, where you could only touch the ball with your elbows, hips, and knees. The Romans played Harpastum. The Chinese played Suchu. The Japanese played Kamari. And the Greeks played Episkouros, a game that was played with no clothes on. Ew, disgusting. In 1998, a bolt of lightning struck during a soccer game and killed all 11 players on a village team in the Democratic Republic of Congo. That was sad. Nobody on the opposing team was harmed. It's not unusual for a soccer player to run 6 miles during a single game and hardly ever touch the ball. And in baseball, it's not unusual for an outfielder to stand in one place for an entire game and never touch the ball. And it's not unusual for a sports fan to sit on a couch without moving for the whole day except to reach for the chips. In 1994, all 11 players on the Bulgarian World Cup soccer team had last names that ended with the letters OV. The World Cup trophy is made of solid gold. Gold! Oh, sorry, I got carried away. In 1966, the trophy was stolen from a glass cabinet just before the World Cup began in Westminster, England. A week later, it was found by a dog that was out taking a walk with his owner. The dog's name was Pickles. That's not important, but I think it's cool to name a dog Pickles. In 1983, the trophy was stolen again, and this time it was never recovered. I guess Pickles wasn't around to sniff it out. Did you ever count the number of panels on a soccer ball? Don't bother. There are 32. That's one panel for each country in Europe. Soccer was originally called basketball because wicker baskets were used for the goals. And basketball was originally called soccer because it was usually played by people wearing socks. Okay, I just made that second part up. But it's true that only in the United States and a few other countries is soccer called soccer. Most of the world calls it football. And in some countries, it's called calcio or nogomet. Are you confused yet? I think it would be fun to be the Queen of England, but not all the time. Queen Elizabeth, too, loved soccer, but she wasn't allowed to play because she might get hurt. In her teenage years, she would disguise herself and join pickup games near Buckingham Palace. Do you know who Edson Arantes do Nascimento is? That's the real name of Pele, the most famous soccer player ever. I think he chose Pele as his nickname because when people asked for his autograph, it was a lot easier to write Pele than Edson Arantes do Nascimento. But really, he chose Pele because it means 6 feet in Brazilian Portuguese. Pele was born with 6 toes on each foot. You heard that right, kids. 6 toes. So he was 1 toe better than everybody else. I wonder how good he would have been if he had 10 toes on each foot. India refused to participate in the 1950 World Cup. Do you know why? Because their team was not allowed to play barefoot. But at least they had no problem getting through airport security. In many of the poorer countries of the world, kids don't have soccer balls, so they play soccer using balls made out of rolled-up disposable diapers. No wonder soccer players don't want to use their hands. Until 1991, soccer was illegal in the state of Mississippi. Before 1862, when H.J. Linden developed one of the first rubber bladders, soccer balls were made from inflated pig bladders. Ugh, disgusting. Today, Pakistan is recognized as the world's greatest manufacturer of soccer balls and is the preferred manufacturer of game balls for all major FIFA tournaments. Do you know what a bicycle kick is? No, it's not when you kick a bicycle, dumbhead. A bicycle kick is when a player throws himself in the air and kicks the ball backward over his head. It's way cool. It's also a great way to land on your head and crack your skull open. The most amazing thing in the history of the world happened in a semi-final match in the 1938 World Cup. Italian striker Giuseppe Meazza made a penalty shot. Well, that's not the amazing part, because players make penalty shots all the time. The amazing part was that just as he was about to take his shot, the elastic holding up his shorts snapped. Meazza held up his shorts long enough to score, and then they fell down. Fortunately for Giuseppe, soccer games were not broadcast on TV in 1938. Can you juggle a soccer ball using just your feet, legs, and head? It's really hard to do, but not for Martinho Eduardo Orage of Brazil. In 2003, he set the world record by juggling a soccer ball for 19 hours and 30 minutes without stopping. What's even more impressive is that he did it without going to the bathroom.